Today I'll be discussing about some stuff that has been happening today. Be starting with reading these charges and explaining what's going on and what the Todd Road Jail facility is doing. So, on one of the charges, my father has 422 criminal threats for 17.8 felony, exhibiting weapon to police officer to resist arrest, 69A, resisting arrest, attempt to prevent an executive officer from performing duty, and another 69A felony, attempt to prevent executive officer from performing duty, and attempt to another one of the same charge, and a misdemeanor, obstruct delay of peace officer or EMT, PC 148A1, misdemeanor, resist obstruct delay of peace officer, etc. My point is, these charges are extreme and they have not been validly proven. The DA has not provided discovery unredacted to show any substantial evidence to prove all these accusations that are here. So my point is, they charge my father child endangerment, PC 273A, open and close parenthesis A, another charge of endangerment, conspiracy to commit a crime, and disobeying a court order, etc. They charge my mother the same crime, and the thing is, they have not been providing any information or evidence to prove these charges for over a year now. It's most likely going to be another year that they're trying to do this. So my point is, when I had my preliminary hearing on November 6th, they removed the charge of battery on a peace officer. They stated that I punched a police officer, and it was proven in the preliminary hearing that that charge was dismissed because there was no substantial evidence to show to the court. No body cam footage, no picture, no nothing. So they removed that charge, and they told me in the minute order that I do not have to talk about charge 6, which is count 6, which is that charge which was 243 PC, I believe, was the code for battery on a peace officer. They removed that because there was no substantial evidence. So why I'm talking about these charges, the child endangerment, how they both have my mother and father with, I'm going to discuss how yesterday, I believe, okay, I'm going to count the days, Tuesday, when they removed my mom to the mental hospital, I was recording a video that I'll be uploading sooner. I told you guys I'll be uploading the other videos, which I will be. Just please give me time. I'm documenting everything and organizing everything. So the video that I have on Tuesday, it was when I was talking to my father on how they placed my mother in the mental institution. They called him out of his cell to speak with a HPU, a mental health person, which is usually a psychiatrist or a doctor. So he spoke with that person, and he told them how he had not gotten his mail that the 9th Circuit had sent to him in July 31st of 2025, and that he was found competent by Mike Rodriguez because they stated that Mike Rodriguez found him incompetent when there's documentation and emails and everything on this channel. So, and one thing about that, when you put an evaluation in, you cannot just change your mind later on and say what you want. It's recorded. You would have to redo an evaluation with that person in order to find you supposedly incompetent. So my point is, he talked to them about his mail not being received, and then they told him if he wanted to move to general population that same day or wait till January 21st on his court date to switch. So he stated he wanted to switch back to the other section, which is a lot better, a normal environment. People are not crazy shouting in the middle of the fucking night every day. So he took that offer, and they stated they're going to move him the next day, which is Wednesday. And that day came, they moved him. And before he was being moved, one of the deputies had stated if he wanted to be in protected custody. This is where it gets crazy right now. This is why I spoke about the charges in the beginning, so you understand that they're doing some type of weird bullcrap right now because they're being cornered. Logically and legally, they're being cornered by our filings. So what my point is, those charges that I stated, there are high charges. Abuse is a high charge, right? And especially in jail, there's rules how if you hurt women or you hurt kids, that's a green light to execute you or most likely hurt you. So the whole point about this protected custody sounds like they're trying to put my father in protected custody to make him give the image, basically slandering his image to other inmates that will potentially hurt him. And I'm gonna tell you why they may hurt him, because I've seen it with my own eyes. Okay? I seen something similar with my own eyes. So what these people do, when you're in protected custody, they do talk. These sheriffs talk about you to other inmates. You'll be surprised that it's not a true thing, but it is. They talk to you about your case. And when I was in jail at the time, in Red Band, there was a new man that entered our dorm, and people instantly knew him from above. Somebody from upstairs my cell knew from above that he does paperwork. And I didn't know what the term paperwork meant, and I had to ask around there, and they told me paperwork is when somebody had did either snitching or did other stuff that, you know, that's not good, and they're moving them there. So what happened was they talked to this man, and I thought everything was cool. Later, you know it, I hear banging near my cell, and it's coming from above, and my cellmate told me that that man is getting his ass whooped. I don't know for what reason, because it was not my business and I did not want to know or get involved. But that's what these people do. They talk to other inmates and you will get hurt like that. So this guy told my father if he wanted to be in protected custody, and my father told him for what? I never killed anybody. I never hurt anybody. So why would I need protected custody? And then they came again today. Today, what are we? Thursday at 5 p.m., 5:30 p.m. to be exact. They call him, and it's not just any ordinary thing. It's not mental health, it's classification. And what classification is, it is a thing where they give you intel about confidential stuff, whether it be what's going on within a cell, or do you want to change your cell if you put in a grievance. So they brought him out of his cell. They told him to wait in a room that somebody's going to speak to him. He waited there for a good 40 minutes to 30 minutes, and nobody came. And so when he was about to be sent back to his cell, somebody told him that they were too busy, like they couldn't talk to him today. But it's about his charges, how they're concerned about his charges. And it's an attempt to move them to fucking PC, which is protective custody. So right now, they don't know what to do. And right now, this is a sign, everybody. I want to say this on the record here because I'm a few steps ahead of them. I see what they're trying to do. So if anything happens to my father in that jail, they are responsible. Because they're stating that they're doing child abuse. They have a charge of child abuse. Well, we have a witness here that will be speaking about that and testifying today. But further do I go, I want to talk about what they did to my mom today as well in the Metropolitan Mental Institution. Today, I guess she spoke with somebody. I'll get the full story with her tomorrow, but she's spoken with somebody, and then they told her that the only way that she would get out of this confinement, that mental institution, is that she takes a fucking plea that she's incompetent and that the charges are true about the child endangerment. So that's what's going on right now. And I want you guys to hear the truth of what happened on September 18th. Because the child endangerment has no substantial evidence or proof to state that. Because that day, I remember they had their guns out and they're pointing it at us. They were fucking us up in our own house. They stolen everything from us, okay? This is the narrative that they don't want to, they don't want this in the public. They don't want us speaking this. That's why they're trying to label us delusional or mentally incompetent, because the stuff that we document here is being covered up because the student had brought a gun to my school and he has law enforcement in his family. That's the only reason why this shit's happening. So Right here, I'll be passing the phone to my cousin, Michaela Miranda, and she'll be testifying what happened that day.
Yeah, so September 18, I already had told everyone on the video that I made. I'm sure you guys already seen that. Um, I already explained what they did, and afterwards, they made me talk to a social worker. I'm guessing for the child endangerment. They even told me that they were going to charge my uncle and my aunt. And I said, why? Because literally nothing happened except when that kid brought the gun to school. That's when everything started happening, like cops coming, showing up, stalking, doing all this stuff, harassing. And so further ado, that's what happened. Like, I talked to the social workers, I told them everything, da 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 da. After that, we moved with my other aunt, which is Maritza's sister, and we had to stay there until my aunt got out, and she ended up getting out like 2 weeks later. And we were basically homeless. They made us homeless. We were jumping from Airbnbs, motels, everything. We even stayed at like the park for hours because we had nowhere to go. And even with a baby, bro, like that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to ruin everyone's life. My cousins, his dad, his mom. And so they made us homeless. And that's why they're trying to do all this, keeping them locked up for something they didn't do, the child endangerment stuff. None of that is true. Like, I grew up with them. Like, my uncle, I seen him my whole life. My aunt, I seen them my whole life. They feed me. I'm good. I have clothes. Like, this is so crazy. I don't understand. But whatever they're trying to do now, it won't work. Because my cousin, he's been doing everything he can, like going to the federal court, trying to, like, file these motions and stuff, because it's not right. Like, literally, like, they ruined my life, his brother's life. Like, we couldn't go to school for years, like, until now. But that's why my cousin's trying to get them out of jail so we could be straight again and we could get a home. They literally locked up my aunt again after we were good. Like, it's just crazy. So
What happened on September 18th that
Oh.
day when they broke in?
what happened that day is like what I said on the video. They busted through the door. They shot the gun instantly. I was right there standing in front with the baby, Hector. My uncle was in front of me and Hector. Either way, that bullet, it could have hit his mom, Edwige, and my grandma. It could have hit any of us. Like, as soon as they busted it, they just shot the bullet. And they started, like, cuffing up my cousin. They started, like, being really aggressive, like, punching them. Like, they even hurt my grandma. They hurt her hand. My grandma told me that they punched her. And mind you, she's demented. So either way, that moment, as soon as she says it right there, that happened. Because she's not going to remember sooner later on. And that's when they had that whole what is it called? Like the thing with your dad, like,
Standoff?
yeah, they had that whole standoff, putting us on the news, making them look like we're squatters and shit. Like, that's so crazy, bro. Like, that did not happen. They literally came in acting like they like own the rules and everything, acting like they know what they're talking about, that we have an eviction. But no, like, all these videos on the YouTube, bro, if you guys, like, really understand, you really understand. If you don't, you're just petty, to be honest. You just don't want to believe the truth. But that's what happened that day.
And what do you recall when you found Hector? Because you stated that he was somewhere in the room.
Yeah, Hector, no, I had Hector, like, that day, right? I had Hector. I took him. I carried him after the shot because I was worried that he might have got hit. So I ran to the room with him as I was recording with your phone. And it had the whole footage of them shooting the bullet, and it had Hector right in front of me. It had, like, how it all happened. And then that's why they took the phone, because they know that I recorded everything.
So when they walked up to you, they just snatched it?
No, that's when like, I was scared as shit, bro. Like, I walked out the room. I had the video recording. I had Hector. I was like, I have a baby in my hands. I kept shouting, I have a baby in my hand. And I walked, I got my sandals, I went outside, and you guys are still out there handcuffed, and you guys are explaining to the girl Nisa on the video when she was recording what's happening. And this piece of shit officer, like, random officer, just came in. He, like, just snatched the phone from me, like, aggressively. And then he, like, they just took off after that. After that, You guys were, they like being aggressive and shit, pushing you guys on the stairs. The officer was like talking shit to you guys, saying he's gonna smack you if you don't shut up and whatever.
Yeah.
Like, that's so, I don't know, bro. Not right. Like, whatever Moore Park is doing, bro, that's not right.
So, she basically told you guys what happened from her own side of the story from September 18 of 2024.
Yep.
And the same social worker that she spoke with, his name was supposedly Hyman. And my mom was visited by him in the jail. But we're going to talk about when Michaela was speaking to him. Do you remember
Yeah.
that day?
Yeah.
Oh, do you remember the stuff you told him?
Yeah.
Here you go.
I had told him, like, he was telling me that my aunt and my uncle, they're going to be going to jail because they put me and the baby, I was with Hector at the time, that they put us in danger, supposedly, and they're going to be locked up for a long time. And that's when I had told him, like, you guys, like, Moore Park or whatever, they wanted to do their thing in their way, like how they do it to every other people. They just want to be hurting people, want to be putting their life in danger. But he told me that, am I in danger? I said, no, I'm fine. Like I said, I get fed. My aunt puts clothes on me. My uncle, he buys me stuff. And I told him, we're good. And I asked him, why are you guys in Moore Park doing this? And he was like, yeah, sorry, it just happens. And I was just like, okay, whatever. And that's when he started like trying to talk to me more. But I had Nisa taking a video. I'm pretty sure like she gave the video as well. I said, you guys, I don't want to talk to you guys no more because there's literally no reason. I'm not in danger. I'm not hurt. You guys came and hurt us. And that's what I told him. And that was it.
Okay. So, that same man, Hyman, he went into the jail and saw my mother. And my mother explained how there's already a lawsuit with the DCFS. Because when we were little, they had taken us and my parents one trial to get us back. They knew how to communicate with their lawyer. They know the basic setting and rules for a courtroom and how a procedural is supposed to proceed. They had never had problems when they were fighting for us in the DCFS institution. Well, not the institution. When we're fighting against DCFS in the Edmond court in Los Angeles. Never had they had their attorney act the same way Ventura County attorneys behave. Literally, this shit is fraud. It's disgusting, and then they keep doing it like it's a normal thing. So my point is, my mother told that guy Hyman that there's already a lawsuit with the DCFS, that there's a conflict of interest here. And if they get involved into this mess, they would end up being sued. That person never showed up again. Another person showed up to my father's cell around the same day we were arrested, most likely around September 20th, September 18th. They came, DCFS. My father stated the same thing, how they're already being sued. And if they're involved, they will be sued even more. The mediation happens today, this year, guys. Not specifically today, but it happens in this year. Around October, that would be the end of mediation. And then in February 2027, that's when trial happens with the DCFS lawsuit. So my point is, these people came into our home with no eviction order, stolen everything, every documentation. As you heard from my cousin herself, she told you that they snatched the phone that was documenting the entry, the false entry, when we're all asking for a warrant, when we're all asking and demanding and they refused to show. So my point is, they stolen everything, put us in jail, thinking we won't have any type of access to these documentation or half of these videos that we have, and thought that was it. No, we came back and started filing paperwork, and now they don't like it. Now they label us mentally ill and using this competency proceeding to justify their actions so they could get what they want. Mind you, everybody, I have a recording from a psychiatrist by the name Catherine Emmerich, who had found my father competent on November 19th. I have proof of that. And I'm not posting it yet, but I have it. I swear to God, I have it. I really do. So these people keep playing games. That's already going to be sent to the Ninth Circuit. The Ninth Circuit habeas corpus is open. It's been over 6 months. That's the same case that they hide his COA that he's been talking about. There was a COA handwritten letter that he put and sent it to the Ninth Circuit. And I called them to notify them that he never received it. So when he put in a grievance to report that, and he told those people that he haven't gotten his mail, now they're retaliating. They know the Ninth Circuit's going to read that update and put it on the record. And I'm most likely going to call Friday or Monday to verify it. So the point of this child abuse charge, it doesn't exist because it hasn't been proven. It's been over a year. They refused to show the eviction order when they stated it's an eviction gone wrong, right? They refused to show any type of documentation. No warrant, no nothing, no body cam footage. And it's been over a year. The discovery is redacted, and they refuse to send it to us unredacted. And it's in the California law, and everybody could look this up, that you have the right, as a defendant, you have the right to the discovery. It is mandatory and just straight up the duty of the DEA, especially the DEA office, to provide you your discovery unredacted. Because the DEA office is the office that prosecutes the prosecutors that bring the cases to the courthouse. These are the people that bring the charges onto the people in order to take to the courthouse to do their bull crap. So that's what they refuse to show, because they know when they show us the unredacted discovery, show us everything that they have, the whole case crumbles, their narrative breaks. So this is proof today, everybody, that those charges, those child abuse charges that are appointed onto my parents don't exist. You just heard a testimony of what happened. When they broke in and beat us up, they also pointed weapons at Michaela and the baby. They had their guns out, everybody. That is inflicting trauma. That is putting the kids in danger. Because what if they had shot them? Doesn't anybody think that? What if they had shot them? That's inflicting trauma into a kid's mind at a young age. And she's willing to testify soon when we take this to the federal court.
Yep.
Because the state court is being biased, and they refuse to listen to our witnesses. They refuse to have an investigator that is appointed from our case. For an example, lawyers have private investigators, and their private investigators is to gain as much information so the lawyer may understand and proceed with your case and help you litigate your rights, litigate and act and be an advocate for your voice. That's what the whole point is for a lawyer. And they refuse to do that. Like I stated, my parents won a trial with the DCFS and got us back. The case ended in 2021. It was proven that they were wrong and they were medicating us unlawfully. There's a whole record of that. And that will be on this channel very soon. So my point is, this whole charge that they have right now, trying to get my father possibly hurt, or maybe even killed. They're trying to put him in PC to make it seem like nothing is happening. Because the reason why classification came today to try to talk to my father about the charges is because they don't want to be more in depth of being liable for a suit. And why? Because they're going to see that my father was placed in a mental spot when he had 4 valid evaluations. And then there's one where it is recorded on my phone and up on the cloud stating that he is competent. He is competent, everybody. And then the court refuses to release him is because the court believes that he is incompetent. That's the only reason why the jail is holding my father, based on a fraudulent order from the court. And they don't want to be sued, so they move my father to red band. They don't want nothing bad to happen to him in there, and also in PC, like in general. They don't want my father to be hurt within the jail anymore, because everything's being documented. From when he was being attacked, being accused in July 17 of 2025, which is on this YouTube channel. If you please pay attention and watch these videos, and if you need help with the guidance of me trying to explain this to you, please give a comment. pleased. So recently today, with my mom, a person came to her today stating that she has to agree to the charges that are being brought to her, that she is incompetent in order to leave and stop the medication that is being forced to her. You know what that sounds like, people? I'm a spell the word. I cannot pronounce it well, but you would understand it when I spell it, and I'll take my time spelling it so you could type it in and read it yourself. It is Coercion. Coercion. Something like that. And basically, it's a form of intimidation, fear, and a tactic of terrorism, basically. These people are pretty much defending and protecting a terrorist who had made death threats to me and my family, who had caused an ambush to me and my family, and it was proven in the court on March 7 of 2024 that it was illegal. It's all there. I have the emails of the attorney providing and asking for information about the exhibits, and my father and mother sent it to him in email, and he took it and he dismissed the case on March 7th of 2024, and it was proven that it was unlawful stop. That's just the truth. And they continue to retaliate, and nothing happened to that student bringing a gun to my school, Moore Park High School, threatening to kill me and my family. There's 2 witnesses, and they're bearing those 2 witnesses' reports that were made on December 4th of 2023. And that's the same day I made my report, and I have a screenshot of that report as well. I'll be making a little post on the side tonight before I go to bed, a little post, so you see exactly what I'm talking about, that on December 4th, 2023, I had my report. I gave him a copy of my written report, and I told him exactly what happened that day with my own voice. And the guy that came that day was Matthew Rodriguez 4725. I have that. So these are the 2 things that they might be trying to do. They might be trying to have my dad get hurt in there and place him in PC and spread rumors so people could use the term of he has paperwork, damaging his reputation and possibly getting him fatally hurt or killed. And that is the truth. And right now with my mother, they're trying to force her into taking a fucking program, mental program, forcing medication on her until she gives up or fucking changes her mind, or they brainwash her into taking a deal stating that she's mentally ill so they could go ahead and proceed with their bullshit, sealing this case completely, and we can never bring up this matter or even sue. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get away so they don't have to face any repercussions and no consequences whatsoever, and they don't have to pay nothing. And they know that they have no immunity. They don't have immunity. They know that they don't have it, and they keep acting like they do. This is the crazy part. So I want to bring this information with you guys today, and that they're trying to do some weird things. They brought a little document, only a page, I believe, of stating a little summary story on why there's the charge of abuse. But it's brief. It's very vague. It's saying that my mother put Kayla and Hector's lives in danger. Hector's my nephew, and Michaela is my cousin, stating that they put their life in danger that day, that where they could have possibly killed them and hurt them. They just put that only in their report. Very vague, doesn't tell the story on what happened. That's why we're asking for body cam footages, because they're not telling the full story of what happened that day. That's what's happening. So I'm gonna call the jail tomorrow, and I'm gonna go live and tell them what's this whole situation with the PC situation, because they weren't carried. They didn't give a shit. They didn't care not one bit about my father's charges. But today at 5:30 p.m. they're worried about his charges, saying that he could probably get hurt, that they're worried about him now, when he was in the fucking mental psych ward for about a whole year straight, when he kept having valid competencies, where he was attacking there, where he was recently attacked where a man bit him, and then they didn't bring any fucking medical attention for a minute, for a good hour or two. And now they give a shit because he written a hand letter to the Ninth Circuit. and he made a grievance where it's recorded within their jail facility, so they can't run from that. Just so you guys know, within a state hospital, when people make complaints, right? When people make complaints, it goes to a appeal court. I believe it goes to the first appeal court, which is the California appeal, which is state. And if it has to do with this complaint, your violations are being violated, it will be sent to the Ninth Circuit appeal. And then they would investigate that shit from top to bottom. The fact that we've been making mainly lots of complaints, dating it, documenting it, never stopping, constant documenting, motions and lawsuits, they cannot run away from this. They can't run away from it. So they're trying so hard to cause some bullshit, so hard to either inflict pain and torture, which is a form of coercion, coercion, that same word. It's a form of that. Speed up their process, what they want to be done already, so they could not be shined upon federal court. Like, what the fuck are they doing down there, basically? So that's what's going on today, guys. I'll be going live again tomorrow. There's more to talk about, but today I prove that child abuse thing does not stick. Let our witnesses speak. Let them speak. Let our evidence be onto the court. Let it be submitted. Let us go to trial. Stop holding the court. Stop defrauding the court. Stop stalling it. Let us go to trial. Let us gather our evidence and provide it into the record. Let us submit our motions. I'll be submitting a motion whether tomorrow or Saturday, and I'll have it recorded, everybody. I'll have it recorded of the receipt, and I'll probably go live talking about what I sent out and show you a whole complaint document of the motions that I'm sending out, because they refuse to put these motions on the record. So this is for the jail, Todd Road. I'm understanding what you guys are trying to do here. Give up already. Stop your bullcrap, because I'm not going to stop documenting. So if anything happens to my father within your jail, you guys will face legal consequences. There will be lots of karma coming your way. And I'm so serious. You shouldn't take this as a threat. It's a legal consequence from your actions, because you're violating your own law. You're breaking your own law. Therefore, you're not what you stick by. You're not, your whole integrity is ruined, because you're violating the laws that you supposedly stand by and swear to have an oath for. And you broke your oath. You guys are submitting perjury, 118 PC, PC 115. Oh man, it keeps going. PC 141, tampering with evidence. This is racketeering, tort, and conspiracy to commit a crime. This is very calculated moves that you guys are doing to me and my family. Very premeditated. And you guys will face legal consequence. A lawsuit will be coming to that jail, because mind you, everything is documented, everything is recorded. Every single thing. Just wait until you guys start being served, because that's coming very soon. So thank you guys for watching and listening. I'll be going live again in the morning to talk about this more. But today, this is what they're doing. This is what they're trying to do. They're trying to inflict fear, trauma, torture, psychological torture to gain what they want. And what do they want? They want us to take a deal so they could scram like a bunch of fucking roaches and cowards away from this case, because they've been getting caught up too much. Then they've been getting contradicted more than once. And they know that there's a YouTube channel documenting everything on here. That's the reason why they want to get away. Christy J. Pruso recused herself over a millennious motion, meaning there's too much things being filed into the court. That's why she removed herself. She saw that we kept fighting. We kept submitting motions, contradicting them. She recused herself September 18, anniversary day when they broke into our home. September 18 of 2025, she removed herself. Okay? She removed herself. And then this man named Dino Innumerable, which is my juvenile judge that was doing fraud in my case, is trying to send me to trial without my evidence being submitted. When they know my evidence would stop this and dismiss my juvenile case, they refuse to submit it. They refused to submit it. They refused to put a restraining order on Daniel Becerra Barbera. That's the crazy part about this. The man that is appointed to me in the juvenile, Kenneth Wixell, is also appointed to me in my adult case. It's all the same people involved. The man in the juvenile court that was representing me, Kenneth Wixell, refused to submit my evidence. I showed him paperwork of the student sending death threats with the gun threats and the witness testifying. The witness police report in the day that he went, which was December 4th around 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. He made his report with Caitlin Ochipinti. He has all of that. The DA was also emailed my evidence. His name was Justin Spillner, Spillner, Spillner. He has my evidence. He didn't even bring it up or provide it within the record of the courthouse. These people are not playing fair. They're covering up a fucking terrorist who brought a gun to my school, who could have killed me and misshot anybody else within that school. People got to understand that their kid could have had died that day. And this is being covered up because we are fighting about it. That's the only problem. We're fighting about it. And they refuse to take accountability for their fucked up actions because they cannot. They're scared and they're cowards. So this is what I wanted to show and bring up with you guys today. So that man, Dino Innumerable, he removed himself on February of 20-something in my dad's case. He stated, I'll post a screenshot of the post later on. As I stated, I'll be posting posts. He removed himself February of 2025. And the crazy part about this, he removed himself from all matters. So he removed himself from that case, meaning he removed himself from all matters. Within that case, he cannot just join the case and it's underneath the same person within the same matter. You know what I mean? You cannot do that. You remove yourself, you recluse yourself as a judge, you can't come back to the case. This guy comes back onto my mom's case for today, January 8th. On the record, it stated the court ordered to transport a defendant to State Hospital of Metropolitan, January 8th. And the crazy part about this, I'll be posting another screenshot with what I'm stating right here. December 11th, it stated the same thing, that the defendant is transferred to the state hospital on December 11th at 9 a.m. They didn't remove my mom until 3 days before this court date. So it wasn't recorded her arriving to that fucking mental institution on the first day, which is January 6th, and a psychiatrist saw her and labeled her delusional and prescribed her Zyprexa, which doesn't help with delusion. That doesn't treat everybody. And then she has health issues, which is with her heart. And that Zyprexa prescription is not a good composition or a combo within that if you have health issues. She can have a fatal heart attack, and that could cause some type of cardiac event. And I brought that up with this lady, the social worker that is appointed to my mother in the institution. I'll be publishing those videos as I stated by part 1s, part 2s. I believe you guys already have the alleged transport video. I'll be posting another one after that. Please give me time. So I talked to the social worker. She stated that, I told her, if the judge or the court ordered that, and mind you, before I get into this, the courthouse is not a health provider. They don't determine anything about your health. If you're not in prison, you still have your rights about your health. You have full authority and control over your blood and your rights. What if they ask for a withdrawal, or they're trying to prescribe you some type of medication and they don't have no diagnosis? They cannot do that. You refuse, and that's just that. But in that metropolitan place, fraud goes on there. And there's another person YouTube channel that I'll be putting up later, where he used to work as a cop there that facilitated the institution, and he could give you testimony on how these people behave, how they're have bad manners, and really fucked up and made him lose his job. It's insane. It's literally insane. So my point is, this whole thing that's going on right now with the forced medication, that man stated she's prescribed the Zyprexa knowing that she has heart condition, which that could cause some type of fatal thing. It makes you gain weight. Therefore, that thing is not for her. That is not a healthy medication. And these people know that, right? If they went to medical school, they should know that. Because my father knows that does not help with anything. If anything, Zyprexa is more for people with ADHD, other mental illness, and schizophrenia. My mother has no diagnosis of any schizophrenia. And I talked to her social worker about that, how there's no observation. How if somebody had put in an evaluation about that person, they have to do a 60-day observation, which means you observe the patient and do another evaluation so your diagnosis is true. Then you could give them whatever prescription that was prescribed. You don't go ahead and prescribe them that same day or the next day because there's an evaluation. It has not been 60 days. And this is the fucking crazy part that they're trying to do. They're trying to prescribe this medication to my mom to fuck up her mental impairments up there, so she will be slow and wouldn't be able to talk about what's going on. They basically want to destroy her rational thought process, basically. This is how fucking evil these people are. So I'm filing motions contradicting them as we speak. I'm doing an objection to Stephen M. Roof, and I'll be submitting that within Friday or Saturday, and I'll record it. And I will show you, this video will show you that they're preventing shit from being on the record. They're preventing shit from being heard because they know they are screwed. The more they keep lying, the more they keep refusing to do anything, that's still being documented, and that will still be sent to a federal court. Or if it gets denied in the federal court, it'll go straight to the 9th Circuit Appeals, where it will be accepted, and my events and story will be taken serious, and they will actually look into it with my evidence that I've submitted as well. So go ahead, keep screwing up, but just letting you know, if anything happens to my father in that jail, you guys will be accountable. And if anything happens to my mother in that mental hospital, because you're prescribing her the wrong medication, you guys will face legal consequences. That's just straight. I'm already working and have it thought out for the Metropolitan lawsuit. That's coming soon, and they will see it. And guess what? They won't believe it until a freaking a marshal themselves enters their building and serves them themselves. They'll be ready for that crap. So thank you guys for listening and watching. I'll be going live tomorrow. Please check out the other videos to follow up through what they're trying to do. Thank you guys, and have a blessed night and good night. Thank you.